So let us determine the mu2 for the second case. Now we are interested with the muc, right? One second. We are interested with the muc. And that is what? That is the total moment due to concrete failure. And what will be the value? It should be equals to mu1 plus mu2. Now this mu1 is same as before, considering it as a singly reinforced beam section, and that is how much? That is 177. That is 177 kilonewton meter. No need to write the kilonewton meter on screen. Now plus, this is the question, what will be the value of this mu2? Now I have told you that it is basically due to the AC, that means the area of steel under compression, that is at the top level, right? When you see the stress block diagram. Now to determine that stress in limit state method, we are always interested with the strain. Now from this strain we need to see the graph separately for concrete and steel. We need to convert this strain to stress. Now maybe it is for concrete, maybe it is for the steel. Now for this concrete we have different graph, stress versus strain graph, and for the steel we have different stress versus strain graph. In beam section, the strain value for the both concrete and steel are same, but the stress are different. That is the concept of the limit state method design. Now first we will determine the strain at that particular level, that means from the top at d dash distance, what is the strain value, and then from the strain we will determine the corresponding stress. Okay, this is the only important part in design of doubly reinforced beam design. That is the most important part, because previous things are very much simple. If you can remember these steps, you can do it easily, but here you need to, it is very much important part, because when you determine the value of the stress, and that stress can be denoted by FSC, stress of steel under compression. Stress of steel under compression, this is the very most important thing in the doubly reinforced beam design. How we can get the value? See, okay. Now I have told you two separate graphs. Where those graphs are there? Let us show you. If you go to page number 69 or 70, near about that. Yes, you can see this graph gives you the stress value for the steel. Now this is for the taut steel, and this one is for the mild steel. Look here, one side you have strain and another side you have stress. Similarly here as well, one side you have strain, another side you have stress. Now this is for the steel. Now for the concrete, follow this graph. I have already elaborated this graph several times. Here you have one side strain and another side you have stress, right? So from these two graphs separately, when you consider the concrete, then you use this graph, and when you use the steel, then you use for the taut steel. Basically, generally we design the beam sections using the taut steel bar, like Fe415 or Fe500, Fe550. So for those you need to use these graphs. Okay. So what I have told you, that we need to determine the strain first. So for that you draw this thing, that means the beam section that needs to be drawn. This is the beam section. You have two levels of reinforcement. Suppose this one is the top reinforcement, this one is the bottom reinforcement. This particular distance from the top where this reinforcement is there, that is D dash, right? And suppose this one is the neutral axis. So strain diagram will be like this, right? Now at this D dash level, what is the strain value that we need to determine? So this is that particular level, okay? And suppose this value is epsilon SC, okay? And you know this is the depth of the neutral axis, that is actually XU, and this total depth, this one is from the top to this center of this bottom reinforcement, that is D, that is the effective depth, and the strain value over here at the extreme top, that is 0.0035, and this distance is D dash, I have already told, okay? So yes, so when you got this each and every data, what you can do, you can determine this epsilon SC. How? Using the triangular theorem. So you give the names. Suppose I am giving a names A, B, C, D and E. So from the triangle A, B, C and triangle C, D, E, what you can write is AB by AC equals to BE by CD. This is very much clear to all of you. You can write this thing, this AB by this distance equals to DE by this distance. It is very much clear. So that thing I have shown over here. So AB value is 0.0035, the maximum strain, by AC. AC is which one? AC is XU. XU equals to DE. DE is epsilon SC, that we need to determine, and CD is D minus XU. It is very much clear. Now you know the value of the XU and the D dash. It is basically, sorry, there I have made some mistake. It should be this particular distance, epsilon by this distance, right? And what is this distance? That is XU minus D dash. XU minus D dash. Now tell me, what is the value of this XU? XU value we have determined. We have determined that XU max by D is equals to 0.48, right? So from here you can determine the XU max value, that is actually the XU. So what is the value of D? D is 462.5 into 0.48, right? And that will actually giving the value of 222 mm. Now you can put all the values. Now it is very much clear. So you can write that 0.0035 by XU, that means 222, equals to epsilon SC by 222 minus 35, as the D dash is 35. Now you can easily determine the value of epsilon SC, and that is basically 0.002948. 0.002948. Okay, so this is the ultimate strain value at this level where the compression reinforcement is there. Now we need to determine the corresponding stress value at this level. This is the strain we have determined. Now what will be the stress? So to determine the stress, you need to go to the code. So here is the code, and this is the diagram for the steel. That means to determine the stress of the steel, we need to follow this diagram. How you can determine? Very simple. Look, in this side we have strain and another side we have stress. Now look, some values of stress are given. You can see. Okay, so we need to actually prepare a table. We need to prepare a table from this particular graph. So I think I just make the table over here, then I will show you from where I am getting those values. So see, what I am writing is one side stress level in terms of yield, stress level in terms of yield. Okay, then I am writing here the grade of steel for which I need to determine the stress. Now in our case, in our question, the grade is Fe415. Now definitely here we have strain as well as the stress. Both value we will see. Okay, so stress level in terms of yield, that means here I will write all the stress level, and what is the value of the stress level, that is also given in the code. This one, like first 0.80 Fy. Okay, now when you write in terms of yield, so here it is, if I maximize this portion, it is written 0.80 Fy. Okay, at the first level. So when you write this stress in terms of yield, this Fy will be divided with the factor of, that means the partial safety factor of the steel, that is 1.15. So when you divide this Fy by 1.15, it will become 0.87 Fy. So in terms of Fy, you need to write this 0.87 Fy. So it will become 0.80 into 0.87 Fy. Okay, now here the second part, second value that is given, if I write here, that is 0.85 Fy, that is written over here. So that will become 0.85 into 0.87 Fy. That means only this Fy will be changed to this one, 0.87 Fy, when you write the stress level in terms of yield. So similarly, maintaining this sequence, we need to continue up to Fy. Look here, first 0.80, then this 0.85 will become 0.9, then it will become 0.95, then it will become 0.975, and finally it will be 1. You can see last value is Fy. So 1 into Fy, that is Fy. Now if I write here, first value is 0.80 into 0.87 Fy. Okay, then second one 0.85 into 0.87 Fy. Third one 0.90 into 0.87 Fy. Then 0.95 into 0.87 Fy. Then 0.975 into 0.87 Fy. finally 1 into 0.87 Fy. Very much clear to all of you? Similarly, we have the strain value over here and we have the stress value as well. Now as our grade we are considering 415, so put this 415 in place of this Fy. Only this thing, when you put here in this Fy, you will get the value of the stress. Okay, now when you get the value of the stress, we know that stress by strain is equals to the modulus of elasticity, and here it is steel, so modulus of elasticity of steel is how much? The modulus of elasticity of steel is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per millimeter square. So we know the value of the stress, we know the value of this modulus of elasticity of steel. This is also given in the code as well. You can see 2 into 10 to the 5 Newton per millimeter square. This is the basic thing, everybody remember this. So you know this stress, you know this strain, so similarly you can determine the value of the strain, and that strain value we need to put it over here. I am showing one by one. Look, if I put the 415 in this Fy, in place of this Fy, what will be the value? It is coming around 288 in Newton per millimeter square. Okay, now if you put value here 288 and you put this value, that is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per millimeter square, the strain value you get, that is 0.00144, and this strain value you need to put over here, 0.00144. Similarly, if you put the Fy value in the second line, that is 0.85 into 0.87 Fy, that will gives you the value 306 Newton per millimeter square, and the strain value will be, that means if this 288 is 306, then the strain value will be 0.00163, 0.00163. Now you understand how to create this table. Now if this table is given in the question, then it is okay, but if not given, definitely you need to understand that how it is coming. Okay, in many books or many lecture videos this thing is not shown, that is why I am showing in detail. 324, and this is coming around 0.00192, 0.00192. Now I am writing all the values. You can also do this yourself. 342 is 0.002, 0.00241, it is 351, and it is 0.00276, here it is 361, and here it is 0.0038. Okay, so now whatever the value, the stress, the strain value you got, that is very important. You remember this thing, this is for the Fe415. Whatever you got, that is for the Fe415 grade of steel. Now if you need to determine for Fe500, so what you need to do, just simply change the Fy value, change the Fy value to 500 Newton per millimeter square, and this Fy value, you see this Fy 500 value you put in these places, and then in similar way, however we determine these stress values, we got another stress values in case of this Fe500, and similarly for this new stress value we will get the corresponding strain value as well, that will be different from these values. So that is the thing, what I want to share, and you can determine the values as well. Okay, if I show you one single value, suppose for Fe500 the strain and the stress if you need to determine, you put the Fy equals to 500. If you put over here, you will get different value. Let us determine one. Determine the stress. So 0.8 into 0.87 into 500, and that will gives you 348. So the value is 348 Newton per millimeter square. Now you can see here it is 348, here it is 288. So the values are different for Fe 500. Now similarly, strain value will be also different. Strain value will be what? 348 by 10 to the power 5. So let us see what is the value. 348 by 10 to the power 5, 0.00348. So 0.00348. This is the strain value for the corresponding stress, that is 348, and for the grade of Fe 500. So it is clear. In similar way you can determine all the values for 0.80, for 0.85, others as well. Okay. Now what is our need is, before preparing this table we got one value, I hope you remember, that is the epsilon SC. This is the strain value at that particular level where the area of steel under compression is present, and that value that we got, that is 0.002948. 0.002948. This is the strain value. Now we need to determine the stress value, the corresponding stress value. If we got the corresponding, if we determine the corresponding stress value as FSC, what will be the value of this FSC? That means the stress of steel under compression. So we need to make the interpolation from this table after taking the values. First we will check where this value is lying, in between which values. So if you see all the values from the top, taking from the top, so it is between these two values. You see, between the 0.00276 and 0.0038. I hope it is visible. Yes, you can see this is in between these two values, 0.00276 and 0.0038. So we will take these four values and make the interpolation. So let us write like this: the strain, the stress, and the strain here is 0.00276, and here it is 0.0038, here it is 351, here it is 361, and definitely it is in Newton per millimeter square. So what will be the corresponding stress value for this 0.002948? So after when you make the interpolation, I hope you remember the formula of interpolation. I have said many times, 0.002948. For this strain we need to determine the stress. So if we directly write, if you don't remember, you can see the previous videos, because the video is very much long. I have already made this video very much long. So FSC, that means the stress for this corresponding strain, will be 351 plus, that is the initial stress, this one, plus the extra stress due to the strain, that will be, can be denoted by 361 minus 351, that is the difference in the stress by the difference in the strain, it is 0.0038 minus 0.00276 multiply with the extra strain. Extra strain means the difference of the value, that is 0.002948 minus the initial strain, that is 0.00276. It is basically a kind of unitary method. If you can't able to remember the interpolation formula, it's simply a kind of unitary method. If I show you, it will become very much easier. Look, this is the difference of stress. So for this difference in strain, what is the difference in stress? For this much difference of strain, this is the difference of stress. So what will be the difference of stress for this much difference of strain? This is the kind of unitary method, and finally you get this expression. Now up to this portion, whatever the value you get, that is for the extra stress due to this extra strain from this strain. Okay, so you just need to add with the previous stress, that is 351. Look here, 351 is added, and when you add these two, you will get the corresponding stress value of this epsilon SC, that is 0.002948. If you can remember this formula, you can see the previous lectures and you can get the interpolation formula. Okay, so finally after solving this one, you will get the value, that is 352.8 Newton per millimeter square. So this is the final thing in this doubly reinforced beam section design to determine this FSC, the value of the FSC, the stress of steel under compression. Now it is very much easy to determine the final part, that is the MUC. I have shown you this MUC needs to be determined, and MUC is how much, that is equals to MU1 plus MU2. Now this MU1 is same as previous one, but this MU2 is mainly due to the effect of this ASC, and now we have determined this FSC as well. Now we can get the value of this MU2. So we can directly put the value of this MU2. Let us write in this way: MU2 equals to, that is the moment basically due to the concrete failure for the balanced moment. So MU2 equals to, this is the stress, FSC is the stress, AC is the area. So stress into area will gives you the force, and force definitely multiplied with the lever arm. Look here, previously I have drawn various times. What is the lever arm? Look here, previously this portion we have used, that means due to the AST2 we have determined the MU2, but here we will consider this ASC. So for this ASC, definitely the lever arm will be same. Look here, D minus D dash. So that is why I am saying we need to multiply the D minus D dash, that is the lever arm. So MU2 will be become FSC into ASC, is the stress into area will give you the force, and multiply with the D minus D dash, that is the lever arm. If I draw it once again to clear your concept, this is the beam section, the doubly reinforced beam section. Consider this as a doubly reinforced beam section, and you can make it something like this: the summation of two section first one is the considering it as a singly reinforced beam section, and second one is considered as the section which is for the taken by the which is taken for the balanced moment. And here this is AST1, here it is AST2, and here it is ASC. So previously we have already taken this AST2, now we consider this ASC. Now for this ASC, what will be the lever arm? This will be the lever arm, because here we have the force, that is the compressive force due to the effect of steel, and here we have the tensile force, that is the due to the effect of the tensile steel, and this distance is the lever arm, and that is d minus d dash. Why d dash? Because this distance is d dash. I have shown several times. So now we can put all the values. What is FSC? How much reinforcements are there in this particular place? Let us see in the question. Yes, there is 3 numbers 20 mm torque. So we can determine over here the value of the ASC, this portion. ASC is how much? 3 numbers into pi by 4 into 20 square. That is the value of ASC. And FSC, that we determined from the graph, from the values, that is 352.8. So 352.8 into d minus d dash. So what is d? D is 462.5 minus 35, that is the d dash. When you solve this, you will get the value of mu2, and that is 142 kilonewton meter. 142 kilonewton meter. Okay, so now we can put the value of mu1 and mu2. mu1 is how much? It will be similar to the previous value. I forget that. I think 173 most probably. Yes, sorry, 177. mu2 is 173 most probably. Yes, 177. mu1 is 177. So let us write 177 plus this 142. So final value, what is, after doing the summation, we will get, that is 319 kilonewton meter. So finally we determine the MUC and MUT, and the moment of resistance is what? The minimum of the moment of resistance is the what? It is the minimum of MUC, that means the total moment due to the concrete failure, and this is one, and the MUT, the total moment due to the steel failure. So in our case, the MUC value and MUT value, what? MUT is 350 and MUC is 319. So definitely this will be the moment of resistance. I hope you understand. I have recorded the total session. Please see the video more than one time and you will be able to understand this designing of doubly reinforced beam section. Okay, thank you all.